So measure is the one thing, first what is given, and the wrong use of measure is the another thing. Imaginary use of the measure, stopping the use of the measure, that is sleep, and recollection is one thing. And the measure is these are the subdivisions of the measure. That is direct measure, direct use of measure, deduction through measure, and measure by a vehicle. That is, this is what is most important. Through this, much of the work is being done. So, the mind and the senses are affected by these things. Being affected by these things is not bad, because we want it when rightly done. When the self is understood, when the real I am is understood, all this activity can be used. But when we do not understand what we are, when we understand that the receiving pole is only ourselves, then the whole activity goes a waste. So, after knowing these things, we should make a shift from the reactive pole to the center. This is what we call the negative I am. We have to shift our consciousness to the positive I am. Now, how to do it is the next step, which we take up tomorrow.
Thank you.
Of course, the measures are always right because they are given by nature. The right application is important, because the measures are not wrong. The shape, the sound, the color, they are all in nature. They are correct.
I think this is vehicles of the spiritual laws.
Yes.
Yes.
Our using the measure rightly is maybe co-measure. I will go through the sentence given in the Agni Yoga and tell you again. Can you show me? So, we have known what the vritti is, that is the behavior of the mind and senses. And we have known that this activity is known as not self, in which we generally live. Now, there is a necessity to suspend these vrittis and absorb them into the real yourself. Then begins the real linking up of consciousness. How to begin the yoga practice? It is, you have to make 2 conscious attempts at first. The one is repeated application of your conscious mind, the lower mind. Because what is available with us is that part of the instrument which we call the lower mind through the senses. So first begin to make use of that part of the instrument properly. You have to make a conscious attempt to go inside, to retrace your consciousness, to suspend the reactive activity. Every time, every moment, practice to think of yourself and try to observe yourself while doing everything. You should not stop doing anything in the world. You should be active, but you should not be active. Your parts should be active outside. You should be active inside. Just as the experienced driver of motor car, he is driving, but he is not actually driving, he is talking to his friend in the car. You know, while you are driving, you will be talking to your friend. Does it mean you are not driving? Actually, you are not driving, but your parts, objective parts are driving. Your mind is driving, you are not driving. Your senses, your eye is driving, your leg is driving, your hand is driving, you are not driving. This is what is to be done as the first attempt in everything you do. So a conscious effort, an attempt to observe yourself while you are doing everything. Now you will understand that there are two layers of yourself. One is the one who is observing and the other is who is doing. Immediately you will understand that the one who is doing is the negative pole and the one who is observing is the positive pole in you. So this is the first attempt you should make. And the attempt should be in the form of a repetition. Because the force of habit will go into the negative pole and begin to work. Again, you should bring it to the positive pole. Again we will go, again you will do it. After some time, it becomes a habit. So when there is already one habit in you, you are engrafting another habit, so that the first habit gradually disappears and the second habit establishes in you. Because the scientists of yoga has understood the great power that is there in habit. Afterwards I will tell you something about the science of habit. I have developed a little thesis about this. I will also introduce it. The science and the psychology of habit. Without that, nothing can be done. Our heart is beating because of the quality we call habit. Our lungs are breathing because of the quality we can call habit. That is repetition. Now you make a repetition, there will be a habit. It is different from understanding. You are engrafting a new nature. So, repeated application. This is called abhyasa in Sanskrit. They say yoga abhyasa. That means repeat the yoga stage. Clear?
Can we say this is a meditation? Then we are always in meditation. If we are
on the steps to meditation.
always on the steps.
On the steps.
Always.
On the steps.
Yes.
Because it can be called self-awareness.
Yes. Yes. It's always the
Awareness of the self.
yes.
Krishnamurti also says, aware of yourself in the present.
Mm.
He teaches the same thing, but he denies the necessity of books and persons. That's the only thing. The difference is, he denies to accept that the past people also know this, but he does the same thing.
Mm.
So, we need not think anything negative of Krishnamurti. What he thinks, what he gives is the same thing.
Mm.
But he has something negative in him, that is to negate the books and the gurus.
And yes, the whole hierarchy.
That is it. So, repeated application is the first step which you have to make as the conscious attempt, which you have your duty. That is the duty of the lower mind as the disciple. The first you start with this.